Hi everyone, today we're going to do a back and hip mobility session. So to start with, we're going to start warming up with some nice slow cat-cow or cat-camel, depending on how you know it. Just extending and rounding, making sure you go nice and slowly through the full range of motion. And remember to breathe deeply in and deeply out. Okay, next we're going to start with our right hand, going to feed it through the hole, get your elbow, get your shoulder to touch the ground. They're going to come all the way up, and that will be 1 rep. If you can't do that, just leave your shoulder on the floor like this for the whole time. We're going to do 10 each side. Again, making sure you're nice and slow on the way down and on the way up. Halfway there. If you're struggling to straighten at the top, try and think about twisting your arm so that your thumb is facing behind you. One more. Okay, and then 10 on the other side. Again, if you can't do it on this side, just leave you resting like this. Try and get your breaths to match, so inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Last one. Okay, and come back to the all fours position. Next, we're going to go up onto our toes into downward dog. If it's hurting too much or you're struggling to hold it, just come down and push back into your hips. And your aim is try and get your feet flat on the ground. And we're just going to hold here for a few seconds. Okay, now if you can, you're going to walk your hands back slightly further. Okay, then we're going to go forwards, and you're going to bring your leg up. You can put your left knee on the ground, and we're just going to come up into a deep lunge. You'll try and imagine trying to pull your quad forwards, and you should feel a greater stretch in your hips here. Okay, then we're going to bring our right foot in slightly further. We're just going to rock nice and slowly back and forward, keeping this foot planted on the ground. And you're trying to keep your body as upright as you can. And this is going to work on just mobilizing those small, deep hip muscles. Okay, one more. Okay, and you're going to just put your right leg out to the side, arms down. If you can come and bring your elbows to the ground, but if this is causing too much pain, stay up the top here, and we're just going to hold this position for a bit. And if you want to take it even further, try and rock side to side, trying to get this leg out as far as possible, but keeping your foot on the ground. This is really good for your abductors and adductors, and also will sort out any hamstring issues. Okay, up you come again. We're just going to slowly come back, and you're going to try sit on your foot, so straighten your foot out, and you're going to come sit down. If this is hurting too much, you can just come and sit in normally. If not, try and hold this position because it's good for your ankle flexibility, and then you're just going to lean forward, and you're not trying to touch your toes, but if you can, that's fine. Just rest here, trying to lean forward, stretch out your hamstrings. Big long deep breaths in and out. We'll go for 5 more breaths. Okay. And then if you need to, you can push yourself up. And we're going to swap legs. So to start with again, have it quite far out. Going to go into a deep lunge to open up your hips. Imagining trying to pull your quad up and bring your knee forward through the ground. You should feel a better stretch in your hips. You can rest your hands on your leg if you're struggling for balance, but if not, just have them resting by the side. Okay, bring it slightly closer in, and we're again going to rock slowly back and forward, keeping this foot planted on the ground. Just trying to go as far as you can. Try and get this knee over the toe as much as you can in this extended position. But if the heel comes up, just ease up slightly, because we want to try and keep that heel on the ground. If you're struggling to do this, you can just hold a deep lunge in this position. This is really good for both your left and right hip, and also helping your hamstring tendon health. Okay, hip slightly out to the side, and again, I'm going to have flat hands, or if you can, come down to your elbows. And if you want to take it even further, just rock side to side and try and push your left hip out as much as you can without pain. Remember to breathe in deep, and then let it all go on breathing out. Okay, come back up. We're just going to slowly come back down onto our heel. And again, just going to lean forward, but we're not actively stretching here. Just letting our hands rest. You can either go in front of us or you can go to your foot if you want. If you know you've got an issue with your outside hamstring, point your toe inwards as you bring your arm out, and it will help stretch your outer hamstring. And obviously on the inside, if you've got an inside problem, put your foot outwards and it'll help stretch the inside. Okay, 5 more deep breaths. Last one. Okay, then gently just come to a seated position with your feet in front of you. Try and place them hip width apart, arms behind, and we're just going to twist and then come all the way around, twist to the other side. If you want to make it slightly more difficult, have your hands out in front of you as you come through the range of motion. But if you're struggling with this, put your hands behind, that's fine. Still opens up your hips. It's also good for ACL flexibility, which is the ligament in your knee, which allows you to do that motion without your knees popping. Now we're going to stop on this side. We're going to bring our arm round, and then you're just going to try and twist and face behind you. Okay, now switch sides. This is a really good stretch for your internal and external obliques. Okay, then come back to center. We want to bring our legs in, joining together. Now if you're struggling with this, you can put your legs further out and it should be easier on the adductors. But if you're quite flexible, then you can bring them in. Start with just have your hands resting, but don't squeeze your legs together. You're going to sit nice and upright and try and imagine putting your chest up to the sky, looking forwards. We're just going to do some deep breaths in and out. First of all, you're just going to try and actively push your knees to the ground like this. If it's hurting too much, just lighten up slightly. We're just going to do some deep breaths in this position. Two more deep breaths. Okay, you're going to bring your hands in. Just place a little bit of pressure onto the knees, and then you're going to try and rock your body forward as well. As you do this, we're going to hold here for 5 deep breaths. Okay, come back up. Right, and then we're going to put one leg at a 90-degree angle. We're just going to push the other one back and move up. If you need to, you can rest your hands on your calf if you're struggling to hold this position. But if you can hold it, try and keep your hands into your stomach, so it will activate more of the muscles around your hips. Okay, and hands in front. And you're just going to see how low you can go. If you can get your head to touch the floor, that's great. You come slowly back up. Just rest it round and just move over to the other side. You're going to do the same thing again. So to start with, back leg out straight if you need to. Rest on your calf. If not, try and hold it. If it's too difficult to put your back leg straight, you can come up slightly and it should be easier to just sit down. Okay, and arms down. If you can, get your head all the way to the ground. If not, you can rest on your elbows or even your arm if this is as far as you can go. It's completely fine. We're just going to do some deep breaths. Gently come back up. And that is the end of our session. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you want me to do next.